Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dan-A-Plooza. My guest at this time is a returning guest. Please welcome singer-songwriter Destini Beard.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me again. I appreciate it. Good to be back.
For those watching fans, you can watch Destini Beard. She was on Dan-A-Plooza last year in October. So you can look for that. I have the spooky pumpkins in the background. You can look on Dan the Man Vids to watch that episode.
Awesome.
Yep. And can you tell us about, because I knew you've just started a website. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So I, over the last year or so, I had to learn how to build websites. I was building one for my dad who does art, and I was looking at mine. I was like, okay, mine's really cool. I like it, but it's HTML and it's PHP. And I'm like, oh, it's not mobile friendly. And I'm like, all right, it's time for a revamp. It's time for Destini 2.0. Here we go. So I spent a few months on that, and I finally got that up. It's got a bunch of videos of some of my favorite clips, songs that I've done. It's got a sign-up newsletter so people can keep in touch. And it's got my bio. And it also has a little mini store in it, too, where you can buy my CDs. So it's really cool. I was really excited when I launched it because I was just like, oh, my God, I could look at it on a phone.
So for anyone watching, it is user-friendly. And we shared that in the Dan-A-Plooza page, but I may even do a live video of that because I'm learning how to bring that up. So I'll navigate and I'll show you all of how it works.
Sweet.
Awesome. And for those also tuning in, I posted the video last night, and Destini has a new video out called Davy Jones. Can you tell us about that?
So that is my rendition of the Davy Jones theme from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Dead Men Tell No Tales, the one with the octopus dude, basically, that's just going like crazy over the organ. I've loved that song for years and years and years since I think the movie came out, which was like 2006 or 7. And I had gotten back into my studio, and I was working on my MIDI keyboard, and I was like, you know what? I have the instruments on my MIDI keyboard to do this. Let's see what we could do. And it was really cool. So I was just like, I kind of rearranged it in my own composition. It's not exact because they don't have sheet music for it. So I was just listening on YouTube, and I'm like ear training, like, okay, this part does this and that part does that. And it was a challenge, but it was really fun. I'd always wanted to do that song. So I thought, all right, now's the time. It's 2022. Here comes Davy Jones, because pirates need to be a thing again. Because they were super popular in the early 2000s, and then we just sort of lost it. And I'm like, nope, I'm bringing it back.
See, when you listen to this, and if you're familiar with Pirates of the Caribbean, when you listen to Destiny's Davy Jones thing, you become part of the crew, part of the ship.
Yes. I shared it on my my fan page, and I just like put the quote, "Do you fear death?" I was like, please someone know that reference. Because it was a while ago, but that song is so iconic from Hans Zimmer, and I was like, I have to do it. It's just, obviously it's a cover, it's nothing that I own, of course, but I was just like, I'll do my own rendition. I'll get up there on my YouTube channel, and I'll reintroduce my YouTube channel with that. So it's been really cool so far, and people have actually they've tuned in, they've shared it, they've watched it, and I'm like, so it's a cool way of coming back this year. Like, hello.
So if you're a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, or if you're a fan of really good music, it's definitely a good music video to watch, and I definitely hope that you people will watch it and share it and continue to support it, and do your best of Pirates of the Caribbean impression when you watch it,
Exactly. Are you gonna walk the plank?
Yes. And walk the virtual plank, and then you'll scream.
I'm gonna have to change my description now and say if you don't watch it, you're gonna walk the virtual plank.
Yes. And walk into the virtual stream of more videos and more likes.
Yes. I second this notion.
Yes, yes. And if you do that, I'll do the voice. So you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Be me at the end, just doing that. Yes. Have you always been a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, like at Walt Disney World? And
oh yes, yeah. I actually, gosh, the last time I went to Disney, I think it was like 97 or 98. I remember my brother was like 2. I think he was like 2 or 1 or 2 at the time, and we went on the ride again. I remember how much I loved that ride, and then Haunted Mansion and Tower of Terror. Those were like my top 3. So when the movies came out, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. They took a ride and they made it an entire series. And I loved this series, you know, especially the second one with all the CGI and everything, and like Bill Nye being this. It was just incredible. The visuals for that time, especially too, was just amazing.
Yeah, I enjoy Mr. Turner, of course, you know,
yes.
Bootstrap.
Yes. I know we definitely need more pirates. We need more of that. That needs to make a resurgence, because that and steampunk I think would be really cool too. Like bring like Atlantean sort of like Stargate and all that. Bring that back. I want to revival that, and then pirates.
Uh-huh.
That would be cool.
That definitely needs to happen, and that way we can follow the Pirates Code.
Because they're more like guidelines anyway.
I always enjoy even the song just on Pirates of the Caribbean, or even in the movie, the yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Yeah. It's such a catchy song. I just love the one voice. He's like, I didn't know someone's voice could sing that deep. I'm like, oh my gosh. It is. It's a great song. I love it.
It's such a classical movie, and even the ride and everything like that. I love that when they finally brought Jack Sparrow into that ride, I felt like that made it kind of more modern, you know, than
Yep. I know I didn't have a chance to see it when it got revised, but I'd be curious to see what it looks like now. It'd be cool.
Oh, I just saw it last fall, but it's not that I don't mind the lady chasing the pirate with the broom. That's still hilarious, you know.
That's awesome.
But I always think that that's such a classic scene within that ride.
Oh yeah. That and the one with the dog where he's got the keys on his mouth.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It's such a classic, and I was like, I have to do something that ties into this. And my dad and I will, like, when we do shows, we'll start quoting the movie just randomly, because you know we do Renaissance fairs, so it brings in a lot of pirates, a lot of pirate themed things. So we'll just quote the movie back and forth to people, and I was like, yeah, I gotta do something musical with this.
So hopefully, maybe in the future, Destiny will have her own pirate ship. You know?
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Even if it's a CGI pirate ship.
Yes. You know? Yes. I'll have to like make my own, like out of cardboard. Just be like, yeah, I got my little pirate ship. That would be fun. That would be super fun.
Yeah. So I definitely feel like that could be a future video, and if you need someone to join the crew, you know,
be my first mate.
Exactly.
Well, that and sea shanties are super popular. Like everybody's doing them, and I keep listening to all of them, and I'm like, all right, this is cool, because this ties into like, you know, sort of Celtic and Renaissance music, which I'm still working on my own Celtic album. And I was like, I could tie sea shanties into this somehow, or even make my own. What the heck, you know? So, yeah.
Now, have you ever been, because I've been overseas, have you ever been to Ireland?
No, it's on my bucket list. I want to go so bad. Oh my gosh. I
I
really do.
I went over there, and I remember that we listened to lots of different Celtic music,
Yeah,
um, and I just remember that what was it? Just getting accustomed to the food and everything's different too, and
yeah,
just like their menu. Like I remember we went for a buffet, and normally you think like a buffet, you just get certain things.
yeah.
Like for the one restaurant I went to, it was only like a one-time trip. Like you can't go
They
back.
have everything.
Yeah. So being the last one, everyone stacks stuff on my tray. So,
Oh,
I'm carrying this tray, and guy looks at me and I'm like, it's for winter, like I'm
yeah, right?
I'm fasting.
Yeah.
I eat 5 meals and then I'm gonna take a nap.
And then I'm good for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I really do. Both my father's side and my mother's side have Irish in them. So I'm like a quarter Irish. And it's, so it's part of my heritage. It's in my ancestry. And I'm like, I would love to go, um, specifically Galway Bay. That's where most of my family comes from. So I would love to visit there, love to see, some of the roots there per se. And really just, I think the coolest thing would be being in a jam session in a pub with a bunch of musicians, just going crazy for the whole night. I think that to me is more exciting than like being on a stage because you're
Oh
with
yeah.
other talent, you're in this circle and you're just feeding off of each other's energy. I think that would be so incredible and also so nerve-wracking. I want to try it at least once in my life.
I hope you definitely get to go there. When I went, I spent time in Dublin,
Nice.
Killarney, Galway,
Awesome.
and I think Waterford is the other one, or what?
Okay.
And
Very cool.
for a week. And when we were in Galway, we took a horse carriage ride, and we went all the way around the town,
Oh, nice.
saw the castles.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's very cool.
I'll have to show you pictures because I have
Yeah.
all kinds of pictures.
Nice. Well, it's most of the Celtic album that I'm working on. Most of the songs are traditional Irish songs that I'm taking into a more like contemporary twist, more like a new age sort of feel. And I've always been inspired by, like singers like Enya, Lorena McKennitt. So being able to be there, oh my God, that'd probably just fuel it even more. I actually, for a time, I was interested in doing like an educational trip, like basically have like a family invite you over and then you work on the stuff there. A friend of mine did that. They were like, you gotta do that with your album. I was like, oh, okay, have to get my album done. And then I'll go over. Yeah, that's cool.
It'll be I definitely look forward to that album. Some of my favorite Irish songs are Whiskey in the Jar.
Nice.
I like 40 Shades of Green.
Yep.
The Girl with the Black Velvet Band.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to do it. I think it should be fun. I've had, being on the Ren Fair circuit, so many people are just like, you need to do a Celtic album. You got to get this done. I'm like, all right, I'm doing it. I'm going.
You could really do that. You could do the Black Velvet Band, but then you could be a pirate,
That would, oh my gosh, that would be fun.
Tied up, and then you'll be like, ah.
Just tie that in there, confuse everyone. They'll be like,
exactly. You'll be like, I got swindled.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
I got my shillings. I ran. I think
we're going to be Irish captains. Well, actually, I mean, Anne Bonny, there you go. There's the tie-in. Those are like my two things I think for 2022 is Celtic and pirates. That's what I'm trying to aim for. And so people are all excited. They're like, ooh, like, is it going to be spooky? And I'm like, maybe a little spooky. It's going to be more like some stuff will be a little more like almost like dark fantasy sort of. Because it's, especially like in Irish tradition too, they have like the good fae and the bad fae. So there's all those tie-ins. And it like ties in really well with like D&D campaigns too. Like everybody that's doing all their campaigns, like that's that sort of fantasy, that bridge. So now it's definitely the time for it. And I'm here in my studio and I got my keyboard that can play all instruments, which is really weird playing percussion on a keyboard.
Oh yeah.
You have to get the timing right, but you're just going. It's really weird. I did it, but it's like, what am I doing? I gotta get one of those MIDI drum sets instead. Be like, all right, here we go.
I'll have to tell you because I went to a pub and they played two different kinds of music, and it was definitely one side because there was a door and you could walk through it and everything. And when I went through the one door, I'm hearing whiskey in the jar, right? So we're like, yeah, whiskey in the jar. And then like I go through the other door and it seems like it's kind of like modern and more kind of, American.
Oh, wow.
I'm hearing like Thriller and I'm like,
wait, what?
I'm like, what? How much have I? What?
What's in this jar? I'm confused.
I'm not drinking any more jars today.
Right?
But I had other people there, like with me, but it was the weirdest remix going back and forth,
Oh, yeah. So, man, now I want to hear like an Irish jig of Thriller. Wouldn't that would be cool?
I know. I was like, do I do this and then take my tail and go to the next room?
What dance move do I is appropriate? I think that would be the coolest thing to be in Ireland hearing Thriller. Like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
I did like a double take. Like,
yeah.
It's like, anybody else hearing
this? Oh my God, that's great.
My phone? No.
Oh my God, that's fun. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah. So it was really it really just kind of dissolved because sometimes I just wanted to go through the door and see what we're remixing in my head.
All right, what's this side doing? All right, yeah, I hear it. Okay.
What's this? 40 Shades of Green and Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay, no, I don't. That would be.
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay, the Clover. Yeah, I got it.
Right? That would be. There's a whole market there doing. Contemporary songs is like that would be cool. Doing them as jigs, Irish jigs. Oh my God, that'd be fun.
Exactly. You could run with that.
Yeah, I could do something. It'd be like, hey,
we're doing this. People were like, what?
Yeah, doing what now?
What?
That was like, oh my gosh, this is going back a while. So I think I was still in high school. Actually, it was my first time in the recording studio. And I had been classically trained, but I, of course, was, I loved listening to rock and all this stuff. So I heard the song Freak on a Leash from Korn, and it was the acoustic version. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is totally different than the original. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to record this. So at 15, I'm in the studio, and I was Freak on a Leash. And it was just the funniest thing. So that was like one of the first ones I put up on my YouTube channel. And people were like, what did you do to it? I like it, but what did you do to it? Like in my defense, there was karaoke. But it's just funny because I took right. I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I did a Korn song, and they're like, huh? I'm like, yeah, I did Freak on a Leash, and they're like, you did the grunts and vocalizing in the middle. I'm like, no, the acoustic version. It makes way more sense that way.
They're like, did you have long dreads and hopscotch? What? I played all the parts.
Yeah, I played all the parts. I made it spooky. Well, I mean, covers, it's cool to see people doing covers. It's nice when you do your own original stuff too, but so many people, they want to hear that recognition. So it's trying to make it your own at the same time. So it's trying to do, in this sea of music, it's trying to do something that they've heard, but they haven't heard at the same time, trying to meld it. I think that's one of the toughest things as a musician. Then once you get them in, it's like, all right, now listen to what I make. listen to my stuff.
Exactly. You try to put your own spin on it, and then some people are like, "Well, that's not the original," you know.
I know.
Like, I'll take the song by shoot, who is it? My brain is I can see like the music video by Genesis, where they have the puppets and they're talking about what's going on. Land of Confusion. Yes. So Genesis did Land of Confusion. See, look, I'm a little Land of Confusion myself. But so Genesis did Land of Confusion with all the puppets, and it's a great music video. But then Disturbed did it, and people are like, "Well, that's not." And I'm like, "Well, Disturbed's not going to get puppets out," and so, you know, like,
right? I know. I remember hearing that cover too. I was like, "Whoa, this is different. I like it, but whoa."
And there's no puppets.
No puppets. It just looks a lot angrier. Yeah. I keep getting people too saying like, all right, you got to do like more like video game covers and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, okay, that could be cool too. Cause I would like to be able to segue into like maybe doing music for games and stuff like that, like games and, you know, online movies or whatever. That'd be cool. You know, being like, hey, do you need a soundtrack? Cause I could do this. This would be cool. So, no.
I feel like you could do something for like, do you remember Castlevania?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. There's one, everybody keeps talking about the Assassin's Creed theme. They're like, you have to do that. And I'm like, okay, that's a high note. I have to warm up a little bit first, but I can get it. That would be cool. What was the other one? Mass Effect. There's actually, the music from Mass Effect is absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, oh my God, guys, this is like classical music, but it's in a game, you know? It's really cool. It's really, that I think is like the ultimate classic crossover. Like we were, the other day, my brother and I were listening to music from Final Fantasy. And I'm like, is this like a symphony? And he's like, no, it's a music. I'm like, what? This is crazy.
Is John C. Williams doing this from Star Wars? What's going on?
Exactly. That'd be cool. That's another segue too, trying to get into that genre of music. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be putting out more frequency of covers, you know, even if they're just like, hey, I'm going to do a sea shanty. It's probably going to be a minute and a half. Or then the next video, it's going to be an orchestral version of just a simple cover or something like that. You know, so I have ideas. So that's why I read it myself.
Are you always a big gamer? I mean, I was with the Atari.
My brother definitely was like more than me, but I definitely got into like some of like the PC games and stuff. And then Skyrim came out and I basically sold my soul to that game. Like I was like, okay. Yep. And it's gone. But again, music, that's what, even more than the gameplay, that's what drew me to it. Cause I just was like, I would hear him playing the game and I would just listen. I'm like, this is beautiful. Like what music is this? And then I'd start to play and then there we go. I'm like, all right, 10 years later, I'm still playing the game.
The game that I always played and the music reminded me was the Ninja Turtle game on Nintendo.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so anytime you were swimming or in trouble, you know, in your life would go beep, 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 and you're like lifeline. You're like, no, swim, go faster. Or if there's a bad guy, there would be like a base coming, you know, and you don't think about that when you're a kid, but when you get older, you're like, oh no, crap, gotta go. Yes.
There was another one too, actually, that I played it once, but I just, oh my God, the soundtrack, I couldn't. It was, of course, a spooky game. It was called Layers of Fear. And it's definitely a creepy game, but oh my God, the soundtrack. I fell in love with that composer. I did a cover at one point and wrote to him. I was like, I hope you're okay with this here. I give you did such a good job. So I listen to that like on repeat, but I'll listen to some others and I've never played the game, but I love the soundtrack. Just love it. So getting into that field, oh, that'd be so exciting. I'd be like, do you need a soundtrack? Do you need a theme song? let me know.
Yep, if you need a Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack.
You need pirates, you need Celtic, you need video games. I'm here. I got you. And then Halloween music. All right, let's go.
Yeah. Technically, you could still do Mario because that's still around too.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? That'd be fun putting a weird twist on that. They'd be like, huh?
like Mario goes down the tube and like you're do 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 do, you know, just whatever gothic spin you see that. Then they think Mario's done.
Maybe just watching like, where is this going? What is happening?
He should have taken the flower. Now he's in trouble.
That would be fun, actually. That would be so random, but I like it.
Well, then they would keep going because you would have Mario, and then you have Mario Kart, Mario Paint, Mario, you know.
There you go. And the other would be asking, like, is that the video game creepy lady? Be like, hi. I like it.
So before we wrap anything up, is there anything else you'd like to promote or plug?
So top two things definitely want to plug because I'm getting back into them. Of course, my website. Because algorithm on like social media is so difficult, especially when you post YouTube videos. Like if you post it to Facebook or Instagram, it's just like no one sees it. I'm like, oh, so more people that can get on my website, sign up for the newsletter. When I have more videos that I've uploaded, I'll start to message those out to people. And then I'm also on TikTok because that's one of the final frontiers that I could put musical shorts up that they don't take down. Unfortunately, I like try to do like live streaming and stuff through Facebook, but they're bots. Even my own music, they took it down. I was like, oh my gosh, guys. So I have a TikTok that I think what I'm going to do with that is because a lot of people just do like off the cuff singing, just do a lot of impromptu things like that. People have been asking for years. And then again, back to my website, because anytime I post a video like on YouTube, I'll share it to the site. They'll get notices about it. And I'm hoping too to make my website a little more interactive, like maybe have like its own little social media thing where people can sign up. And then in addition to that, eventually I am trying to prepare a Patreon. Because live performance is where it's at, you know, and being able to stream through Patreon would be really, really cool. So it'd be like a monthly subscription kind of thing. And then you get like behind the scenes covers and all kinds of fun stuff. So be on the lookout for that on the website. Again, I'll, you know, as soon as that goes live, I'll message everybody through there and all the info will be updated there. But that's what I'm working on. I'm full steam ahead on my pirate ship.
Arr. Arr, the Destiny beard pirate ship is about to sail.
I am the captain. You must subscribe or you'll walk the plank. And you have to subscribe to Dan the Man or you'll double walk the virtual plank.
Throw my, you know, hook boomerang so it'll smack you and go right back on my hand.
Exactly.
Sound effect like.
Yes.
Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Dan-A-Plooza keeps on rolling. Next guest, Matt Burns at 7, and then Joran at 8. Have a good night.